Hello and welcome back to the Excurse. It has been a little while since I recorded one of these. Quite busy with movie planning and all of that kind of stuff. However, trying to get back into the Excurses again, and what better way to restart the Excurse and kick things off and kind of see in the new year than my most returning guest, Mira Morningstar. Mira, how are you doing?
Hey Rich, I'm doing great, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you for having me back.
Oh, thanks for coming. I mean, it's so nice. It's always nice to catch up and see you. And, you know, we always get our cheat day in as well. So it's a good excuse to eat treats.
It's treat and Excurse day.
It is. So we've done 2 of these now. The first one was online, mostly talking our vegan diet and stuff, wasn't it? And a bit about Glastonbury. And then with part 2, we caught up down the road because your album was finished then, and we went through the music video, did Disciple of the Cloud, which I edited, you and Kaylee made, filmed, and at that point we were talking about the CDs, and the CDs were almost ready. You'd had problems getting them made, but they were going to be done soon. And I guess that's the best place. Let's pick up the story from that point, which was May.
Was it May? It must have been
May of 2022. It's now December of 2022. So
yes, it's been quite a journey, hasn't it? To say the least.
Yeah.
I have never had as many issues sourcing CDs as I have had this year. I mean, I can only put it down to maybe Brexit issues or the pandemic, or both. But things seem to have really changed. Suppliers that I used to go to now no longer have the same quality or quality control, and things just ended up looking absolutely awful, to be honest. And it was really upsetting because I wanted to create something that was eco-friendly, and then I ended up creating the opposite. So that was quite sad. But anyway. Thank you so much for your help and putting everything on templates.
Oh, you're welcome.
Time and time again. I really couldn't have done it without you, and all the moral support as well. Because let's face it. Like, I mean, I have quite good nerves, and patience. But when it goes on,
there were moments when you just had.
There were, yeah.
I mean,
I'll be completely honest. Like, there were moments where I thought this is not going to come together, but that doesn't mean I was ever going to give up.
No.
But in fact, it actually just made me more determined.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, every time it happened, we got more determined. But to give context, because I think you saying that, like, you've put that way nicer than that situation was when you were in it. Not even my album or my CDs, but I got so frustrated with this process. And when you say suppliers, it wasn't just your suppliers. It was suppliers that I've used or my friends have used in the past. It's been great, fantastic. I've got the CDs here that they've made, and they're fantastic quality. And then we were getting them through, and the quality of the printing was terrible in some cases.
Yeah.
The cutting of the albums, the way they've cut them, was awful. The CDs were mislabeled. The labels were offset. It was,
you name it.
Unbelievable.
It was all wrong. You name it. It was just, even to the point where the extras that I planned for the special edition, even they didn't turn up, or they ended up arriving damaged. It was just, it felt like there was a little curse on there.
I remember that because after everything, it was finally getting sorted, and you were like, "Oh, I've ordered the tea bags. They're going to come. It's going to be lovely." And the tea bags turned up broken. I mean,
the first lot, yes. And they're handmade as well. So yeah, no, it's been a nightmare. But as I said, I'm actually glad that it happened, because it not only did it teach me more patience, but it also inspired me to create something a little bit different to a normal digipack and what I aimed for.
Yeah.
Because now we have the special edition, and it folds out, and it's got a bow on it. It's quite luxurious looking, and I'm really happy with it. And it comes with its own tea bag and sticker and everything. So it's very different, I think, too.
It's really lovely, and the thing I love about this is that it's so different from any album I've seen before. I've never seen an album with a bow to tie it together and the little window, and I love the way the CD's set in it. So, it's funny, we go back and we think back to, things you've always said, like everything happens for a reason. And there were moments during this process where even you said to me, oh, I know I say everything happens for a reason, but I can't think of a reason for this. Like I'm getting past that point where I can think of a reason. But here we are.
Yeah,
It's
that is the
ended in
reason.
this.
And it's been received so well. You know, I've been so touched, and people really treasure it, and that's lovely. That's really special, and it's eco-friendly. It's not, I still achieved what I wanted to with this. It's not a plastic pack. It's made with eco-friendly materials and handmade as well. So it's very different. It's not something you can just get off Amazon by any artist,
No,
So
no, certainly
it's
not. Like I said,
definitely-
I've never seen an album like this before, and I think it's really unique and stands out as a result. And you were going down the eco-friendly route, which is what the initial delay was anyway.
Yeah.
But I think if you got them printed at that time, they would have been eco-friendly, but they would have been like a standard edition, which is fine. But this feels really special,
Yeah, I'm so glad. That's what's the special edition. So
Yeah.
I'm really relieved and happy, and so glad that it's been received so well. So thank you, everyone, and thank you everyone involved in helping me, because it's it's not just me. It's like a little team of people.
Yeah, and I guess thank you for everyone's patience, because your fan
Yes.
base have been so patient,
I
because they were
know.
asking and they wanted it, and it was just an ongoing saga. But
Yeah.
I guess because it had been such a long wait, I didn't want to start off on a negative. Obviously, we've ended on a positive because we have this wonderful
yeah.
album. But I just wanted to kind of clear the air around that, because like I don't think your fan base have any idea. I mean, occasionally you posted, but you were mostly quiet about this disaster.
I don't want to
It's
depress
ongoing.
anyone.
Yeah. But of course, the good news is, through this process, you've found great supplier again.
Yes.
So we're good.
So any fellow musicians in the UK, if you need
them.
if you need a good supplier, let me know, and I'll send you I'll send you to someone who can actually make great CDs.
Yeah. So obviously all of that was going on, big stress, but alongside that you were super busy working on your new website, which launched like a month or so back now.
That must be 2 or is
Maybe.
it 3?
I don't know.
Even know.
This year has flown by.
I know, this
So-
year's been crazy. Yeah, so a few months ago I started redesigning my website, because there are some things that I want to add next year. I want to build a community, and I'm going to get into that a bit later, because I think there's a question that ties in really
There is.
nicely with that. So yeah, but my new website is up, for those who haven't seen it yet, and it looks more magical. I think it's more user friendly too, especially the shop. Before then it was all just PayPal buttons, and now it's an actual little shop. So that's really nice, and it took a long time, but I'm really pleased with it, and I like the look of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And miramorningstar.co.uk.
.com.
I've done that twice now. We were talking about it earlier, and I said .co.uk. .com.
.com. It used to
and-
be .co.uk.
Yes, that's why I've got it like stuck in my head, and it's a really nice redesign. I really love the new look of the whole site. I think it's really lovely. And one other thing I really wanted to touch on, like related to the website, is if people aren't, and I know just a lot of your fan base actually are, but sign up to the mailing list, because your mailing list is fantastic. Like, you're really good at communicating to your fans, and you send those emails out. I get confused because I'm like your friend as well, so I get emails. They're like, "Hey Rich," and I'm like, "Why are you emailing me?" And then I read it and I'm like, "Oh no, of course it's from the website." But I really love your posts. Your blog is really lovely.
Oh, thank you so much for saying. Yeah, I mean, it is just, I mean, we're friends, as you say, but
Yeah.
I have the same approach with all my listeners as well. I'm just telling you guys what I'm up to, and trying to leave nuggets of maybe things that you find inspiring or just entertaining. It's just nice to connect, isn't it?
It really is, and you've had quite an uptake in that, right? It's quite a good uptake to your mailing list.
Uptake in
A lot of people sign up.
Oh
to it.
yes, yeah. It's been amazing, actually, especially with the fairy fair and everything.
Well, that was a good segue. Well done. The Fairy Fair. So the Fairy Fair was a month or so back now, and you were there in person. Handing out. This was part of the panic of the CDs. Was
Yes.
getting them ready for the Fairy Fair.
Getting them ready for the fair.
But you were there with the CDs and with the pillow mist that you made, the unicorn pillow mist, which my mum loves, by the way.
Oh, I'm glad.
So how was the Fairy Fair? Because I guess you got for the first time to meet some of your fans in person, rather than just over the internet.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've bumped into fans before, but at an event like that. And I was only there for the first hour, 2 hours of the first day, and even then, just seeing your fans, they're so lovely and just so happy to meet you and stuff. So I just wondered how you found that whole experience.
To be honest, my heart was so full when meeting everyone. I feel so grateful and so loved up by the whole experience. I mean, the fairy fairs are always lovely. There's just such a nice atmosphere and genuine, kind people. It seems to attract a really nice crowd. So, of course, that meant that my listeners were there as well, and it was just the most precious day. I will treasure it forever. I made really lovely memories, and thank you to everyone for coming and saying hello. I know a lot of you had quite a journey and quite a drive, so I'm just amazing. So touched. I'm absolutely touched. Like, I moved to tears actually. So it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience.
Oh, it was my first Fairy Fair, but it will not be my last. I loved visiting it. I thought it was wonderful. The organisers did a fantastic job with it. And yeah, people came really far. It's amazing. It's so lovely that people travelled to come meet you in person and get their hands on this super rare item.
Yeah, it was rare.
It was at the time. I mean, there were
a handful.
Yeah, there was a handful ready. Literally, the amount that were at the Fairy Fair, that was the only existing ones in the world.
Yeah, that was it. And I wasn't sure at that point if I'm going to get more.
I remember at the time you said to me, "Oh, I was going to get you a copy, but might have to wait because I've only got this many."
And then I had outstanding orders as well because of the new website. This was actually quite funny. When I made the new website, I forgot to put the CD as a hidden product, which meant that somebody found it, and it was only up for about an hour. Somebody found it and already placed an order, and I said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but it's not even available. I don't know when it will be available. I'm just testing the website at this point." And yeah, bless him, he was very sweet and said, "I'm happy to wait." So and then there was another one who did the same thing, and then I realized, I really have to hide this product now and get to grips with the new website. But yeah, thank you for your patience, everyone, and also for asking all the time, where are the CDs, where are they coming, and over months and months. And it's just I'm just so grateful that you guys wanted them so much, and that's also motivated me even more to make them extra special, go the extra mile. I wanted them to be as epic as I can possibly make them, especially since it's been such a long wait, and especially since it seemed like it was almost impossible to get a good quality, And
I think, I think it was worth it. The end product is absolutely fantastic, and obviously they are still available on miramorningstar.com.
Yes, they're here now.
They are here now, and like I said, we've got a great supplier for the future, so it's all worked out great.
Yes.
But it's amazing, isn't it? Because we've in the past I've thought, our CDs, maybe CDs there's just not a demand for CDs anymore. Maybe that's it. Maybe everyone's going digital, but they're really not.
No,
they're
it's
really
a misconception.
not.
It's the same with vinyl. There's a lot of people asking for vinyl time and time again. And a similar thing is happening with CDs too. More and more people crave a physical copy rather than just a download. And I mean, if you really think about it, a download is great, but if you lose it, or or your hard drive has issues, then the music is gone. So, and also there's just nothing compares to having an actual signed copy in your hands, I think. And the artwork, there is so much thought that goes with the creation of an album and a CD. It would be a shame to let that side of the product go completely, And if
I totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, I still love CDs. So.
Me too. I like to have physical copies of everything. And CDs, I agree. And all of the artwork in here is so lovely, and you would never get that on a digital copy.
No, exactly.
You know, I mean, I've got Curious Fire Spirits on digital. I've got the digital version, and it's got that lovely front cover. But obviously, with this version, you get multiple covers. You get the inside cover, you get the back cover, you get the front cover. All of that artwork, and I just don't think. Personally, I appreciate digital art, but you can't appreciate it as much, in my opinion. And maybe that's just because I'm of an older generation, but I think you can appreciate it so much more when it's in your hands and you can physically look at it rather than just on a screen.
Yes, absolutely. I think, yeah, as you said, it's a generational thing.
It may be.
Yeah, I feel the
generational
same.
thing.
I grew up around CDs and tapes,
Same.
so I'm always going to have a soft spot for that. And
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll always
agree.
remember how excited I was getting CDs as a kid. And,
Yeah.
you know, that feeling. It's not the same when you just click buy online and it's just
No.
download and that's it, you know?
No, exactly.
It's lovely that we have these things. And it's lovely that, you know, we could get the album when you were having those difficulties. It's nice that you weren't entirely reliant on waiting for the CDs. People could get their digital copies. But yeah, you're never gonna replace that physical thing, for me at least.
No.
And for a lot of your fans.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it's a misconception, like I said, that there is no demand for CDs. A lot of people said to me, "Oh, why do you bother with the CDs if you're struggling so much to get them?" Because people are asking for them.
Yeah.
Firstly, and secondly, it's just lovely to have that option. And
it is.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's wonderful. And obviously now we've got the good supplier.
Yay.
The next album,
yes.
which obviously presumably a reasonable way off, but when that eventually comes around, we have a great supplier now, so we shouldn't hopefully have these problems again.
Yes, that's done now. We spent most of the year on
pretty
this.
much, say for 7 months or something working on this to get to this point. But while the next album is obviously off in the future, you are currently working on a collaboration which is quite different.
Oh, it is. Oh, I'm so excited, you know. I'm not going to reveal too much because I'm not actually writing the music on this one. I'm singing, and I'm also singing in a slightly different style and a different genre to what I usually do. So it's I was pushed a little bit out of my comfort zone, which is exciting. And it's still dreamy though, and it goes well with my usual style. I think complements it well anyway. It's kind of in that same ballpark, so it's not like I'm starting rapping or something.
No,
it's not completely different, but it is different. And yeah, so I'm not going to say too much more. It's just far it's just a collaboration on one song,
but it's exciting.
It's exciting and catchy.
It's brave, I think. You know, to go outside of your comfort zone. Like, you know, you're very incredibly talented and good at what you do.
Thank you.
But it's something else when someone that's very good at that decides to not stay in that one wheelhouse. They decide to go outside of that and try something new. And obviously this collaboration came along, and it would have been very easy to say, "Oh no, it's not my style. I'm not going to do that." But you embraced it, and you know, I've obviously heard a very rough version, but it sounds amazing. It's so interesting to hear you in a different kind of genre, in a different kind of style. I think your fans are going to really love that when it eventually comes around. So.
Oh, I really hope so. I hope you guys will love it.
It's going to be fun. Well, we asked, or you asked, I asked.
We asked.
We put out there for some questions. You know, if anyone had questions for Mira, we were going to answer them. So I've got a collection of questions here.
Yes.
So
exciting.
Kicking us off, Pat Booth asks, who has been a major influence on you where your music is concerned?
I love that question.
Me too.
So I'd have to say Dead Can Dance, absolutely. They're one of my favorite, if not my favorite band ever. Or duo? Are they a duo now? Anyway, I really like their hypnotic sounds and the way their music has always installed a sense of spirituality in me without being spiritual or religious, or maybe that's what they're going for. I've never really listened to the lyrics when it comes to their older albums, because I wanted to purposely have my own meaning to it. I don't know if you guys ever do that. Just listen to the music and not pay too much attention to the words so that you can create your own story. But maybe that's just me and my strange brain. Do you do that?
I get that.
Right. Yeah. So for a long time, I didn't actually look at the lyrics, and
with lyrics, I think personally, I think lyrics come secondary.
Yeah.
Because your first listen, I mean, maybe people do listen to lyrics first time around. I listen to the music first, and then later the lyrics.
So I looked at the lyrics later on. I thought, oh, actually, this does kind of match up with what I'm feeling. But anyway, I'm segueing away here. So yes, I'd say Dead Can Dance a major influence because of the hypnotic sounds, and I love the sound walls and the darkness it creates as well, without being too dark. It just appeals to the old ex-goth in me, I would say. And
you never lose the goth; it's always there.
Yeah, you can't really take the goth out completely. No. I think, and also I love Lisa Gerrard's vocals, and I've been quite inspired by her. Been inspired by Depeche Mode, also inspired by Tarja Turunen, a former Nightwish singer. When I was a teenager, I loved her voice so much, and then asked my vocal coach, "How can I sing a little bit like that?" So just like my accent, my music and my voice is a mishmash of lots of different things that have inspired me, I would say.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm probably going to butcher this, but I will try my best. At La Tierra Dialis asks, this is a lovely question, what's your comfort food for the season?
Is a lovely question, given that it's cheat day as well.
It is every day when we meet.
Yeah.
We always try to synchronize our cheat days so that when we meet up, we're eating fun food. But yeah, for the season, I guess for Christmas,
I would say. Okay. Yes. So for cheat day, comfort food. Well, I really love German Christmas treats because I grew up in Germany, I guess. And there were these domino cubes, I think they're called, or if directly translated, they're called domino stones, I think, and they're delicious. They're these little cubes covered in dark chocolate, and inside they've got Lebkuchen and layers of Lebkuchen and marzipan, and I think some kind of marmalade. I want to say, I don't know what it is. Some fruity things in there as well. So I really like the combination of all those flavors.
Funny enough, I mean, not those, because I've not actually tried those, but you gave me some German
Lebkuchenherzen.
So those, I had one of those in school when I was a kid, and I loved it. I think I said to you when you gave me them, I absolutely loved them, and I hadn't had them. I never knew what they were, so I could never find them or track them down. And then suddenly you gave me one of those, and I was like, that's it, that's the flavor and that's the taste. It took me straight back to that time, because I think it was like a world market day or something, it was like in school, and they brought food from different nationalities, and that was one of them. So I was really glad. I was like, oh my god, that's it, I remember that now. So I will have to try these domino
cubes, I think, or maybe they're called stones. I don't know.
Try and track
it's difficult because I know it in one language, so I don't really
of course
know. And they're hard to track down in this country. I mean, vegan for us, can't really find them. So if I do find them, then of course I'm going to bring you some for the next cheat day.
Oh yes. Now I know when you say it's hard to find, it is hard to find, because I mean you and the ghost pasta, I was like, I can find you ghost pasta, Mira. I'll find you the ghost pasta. And I looked, and I found it.
It was like £100 at Amazon.
So expensive. So expensive to bring it over.
I know, I miss the ghost pasta. Anyway, yeah, ghost pasta. Speaking of pasta and Italian things, so when it's not this season or just in general, I'd say my favorite comfort food is vegan pizza, and nothing comes close to it. And especially authentic Italian pizza, not Domino's or something. Not that I don't like Domino's occasionally, but there's nothing. Nothing compares to really handcrafted, lovely traditional pizza.
I agree. You cannot beat that handmade base.
No,
it's everything.
It is.
And it is kind of pizza is kind of up there as the ultimate cheat food, isn't it? Really,
it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Dark Window Rex asks, how have you been, and what are your plans for 2023?
I've been very well, thank you. Thank you for asking, and I hope you're doing well too. Yeah, it's been very busy this year, as you've heard. And next year, one of my biggest plans is to create, with the new website as well, to create an online sanctuary for everyone. I mean, right now, especially, it's like the more the world spins and spins, the more days go by, the more crazy everything becomes. And I feel, I mean, everybody needs, we just need an escape. We need a place where we can rest and recover and regain our balance. I know, because everything is just, I mean, I don't. We all watch the news, or maybe we don't. It's crazy to say the least, and some of us are really suffering. And yes, so this is what I want to create, and also something to give back, something to help grow forests and help animals in need. So it's going to be a community for that. And sanctuary sums it up really well. I don't want to say too much because there are quite a few surprises there, but yeah, it's going to be a community of people to get together and learn different stress busting techniques, such as, you know, dietary help, meditation help. There'll be exclusive songs that I'll release there, maybe EPs as well, that won't be available anywhere else. And one day, when all this takes off, hopefully, I want to create an actual sanctuary for animals and for people to go to when they're in need. So this is my bigger plan.
Yeah, this is a big project.
This is a big project, but I'm going to start small, of course, and it's going to start off digital, which also means that everybody across the globe can obviously join. You don't
of course, because
have
a
to
physical space people need to travel to, they need to come to
Exactly.
it. Whereas with this, everyone can take part, at least in the digital side of things.
Yes. So, without giving too much away, but a little bit away, those are my plans.
That's great. I think that's lovely, and I know you've been wanting to do that for a long time now.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah. So Andrew Cannon asks, I was wondering how you are this winter season. Is the energy crisis affecting you? I'm in Ontario, Canada. It's hard to imagine what it's like. Love always.
Oh, hi, Andrew. That's such a sweet, warming question. I'm really touched. I'm fine. I'm absolutely okay. Don't worry about me. I know there are a lot of people, though, suffering throughout this cold winter. I mean, usually our UK winters are not so cold, but this one has already hit quite hard. So my heart goes out to everyone who's feeling it in more ways than just one. And I'd say, you know, all we can do is stick together as a community, however we can. You know, be kind to one another, help one another wherever you can, and focus on what you can change rather than everything else. I know it's easier said than done, but yeah, I'm personally okay, and I just hope that everyone will be okay as well.
Hopefully.
I don't really know what else to say. I mean, all we can do is stick together.
Yeah,
but
help each other where we can.
Yeah, but we've not had outages or anything. I mean, I've had some issues with electricity where it just went off, but it had nothing to do with. I don't think it was a shortage. No, it had nothing to do with that. And you know, I'm warm, I'm safe, and yes, I hope everyone else is as well.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet it's warmer here than it is in Canada.
Yes,
anyway.
I was just gonna say you must be used to some cold.
Yeah, your cold is very different to our cold.
And I hope you're also okay and doing well. I don't know what it's like in Canada at the moment. Maybe, you know, let us know in the comments. And if there's anything we can do, you know, let us know.
Absolutely. Tom asks, are you single, and or are you willing to go to dinner and dancing?
Oh, well, I'm not single. I'm very happily taken. But thank you for asking, and I don't really dance. I must confess. I'm
Dancing's awkward.
It is. I dance with my parrot, and nobody wants to see that.
I've seen you dance.
You've seen it, yeah, but
he dances very well.
He dances very well. I mean, maybe Snoo would like to go dancing with him, but sorry. Yeah. Yes, I'm taken. But thank you for asking.
At Timber06 asks, do you enjoy poetry?
That's a good question. So I would say it depends. I always felt that lyrics were quite poetic. If you take the music away from a song, that is kind of poetry, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so in that sense, I do enjoy it, and I kind of write poetry, but it's just with music, so it's a song. It really depends on the style. There's some poetry I've read where I just feel I can't focus on it, and this might be because of, I don't know, with the internet and everything, our attention spans have really suffered, and I'm aware of that. So it has to be something that's really gripping to me, and something that touches me. So I think it's just like with music, it really depends on the poetry and who's written it and what it's about, and if it's something that I can relate to and feel.
I think that's it. It either touches you or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? And I guess, I feel like everyone would like poetry if they found the right poetry.
Yes.
And I agree with you. Like, I think lyrics are kind of poetry in a way.
Yeah.
Because you may not even have a melody in mind when you write the lyrics. It is basically poetry, and then you add music to it.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Or you're adding poetry to music. I guess one or the other. But yeah, great question. Paul G says that Charlotte and I have always wanted to ask you out for dinner when we were in Glastonbury, but we came to the conclusion that it might be a bit weird, and so we backed out.
Right. Well, well, as I said, I'm happily taken, but thank you for the offer.
Yeah.
Which is, well, I mean, that wasn't an offer because you backed out, so thank you.
It was half an offer.
Thanks for half the offer, and I hope you're well. Hi, Paul.
Joel D says, "Hello, Mira. Out of curiosity, have you ever met the fairy folk?"
I love this question.
So do I. It instantly made me think of the fairy fair as well.
Yes. So when I'm out in nature, in the woods, I must say I have felt as though there is a presence somewhere. It was also how I came up with the title of my album and song, Curious Forest Spirits. It's as though you feel a little bit watched. There's something behind the trees. Maybe there's something behind the bushes. You just never know. Is it a bird? Is it a bee? Or is it some other kind of animal? Is it a squirrel? It could be anything. Or is it a fairy? Is it a unicorn? Those are the kind of things that come to mind. Or sometimes the wind through the trees, and one of my favorite words, Sitherism.
Is that what that is? Is that wind through the trees?
Yeah, so that's the wind blowing through the leaves of the trees.
I
and
never
the
knew
rustling sound. And I really like the word. It's difficult to say. Sitherism. So yeah, I'm not sure if I've met anyone from the fairy realm, but it feels like they have been present. I have definitely met unicorns in dreams and meditations, though. There's no doubt. Yeah. Yes, there's no doubt about that.
Dave Nicole asks, and I'm kind of paraphrasing a little because it's quite a long question, so apologies. But do you ever lose pieces of music that you wanted in a song? Maybe you've awoken and the song or the lyrics fly out faster before you can try them, and then following that up, do you think that perhaps if that has happened to you, losing those songs and pieces of music, do you think it was just right that it was meant to be? You didn't use them.
That's a great question too.
It is. I butchered it. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, so I would say, well, I haven't so far lost anything where I would have been absolutely heartbroken to have lost it. Everything so far has stayed in my head, and or I was lucky enough to have something on hand to record it with. So my phone, I often just sing random melodies, even if they don't become vocal melodies. I will sing melodies into my phone, even if I'm just going out grocery shopping and the melody hits me.
Yeah.
I make sure it stays there.
There was a song that you wrote. You had came to you in a dream, right? I'm sure I remember that.
Yeah, so there have been a few songs that came to me in dreams. There have also been songs where I had issues finding a connection from, say, the verses to the chorus, and then I went to bed. And and in my dreams, everything rearranged itself in the DAW that I'm using, Pro Tools, and everything rearranged itself. And then I woke up with the melody how it's supposed to sound, and then I immediately get to work and put it down the way I heard it in my dream. So yeah, I feel like I've always been lucky enough to have something to hand to record everything with, and
it's the benefit of modern technology, I guess.
Yes, but I do think, and I do trust that if if a melody is the correct one, then it will stay there. You know, if it's memorable enough, then I'm pretty sure it will stay. So I do kind of trust my brain to
sift through and
yeah. So I've been lucky so far, but the only thing is backing up. You know, your system.
Oh,
I have lost recordings.
For anything artistic, anything that takes time,
yes,
always back up.
Yes, please, everybody back up, because that's, speaking of losing things, no, I haven't lost a melody that I liked, but I have lost works in progress before because I failed to back up, and then my computer died, and then my lovely nerdy brothers had to help me resurrect everything. So yes, people, please back up your creations.
Absolutely. When I was working on my first film, we had copies of it digitally, we had copies physically. I left copies at people's houses. I left a copy at the radio station I was working at the time, because I was like, I never want to lose this, so if I lose it, I've got at least 2 backups somewhere else in the world, you know. So yeah, absolutely, definitely back up. James W with the final and most important question: what do your feet smell like?
Well, I would say it depends what kind of shape shifting I feel like. So when I'm a unicorn, then I'm probably walking through the forest and probably smell of hooves and moss and forest floor. If I take on the shape of a human, then whatever shower gel I'm using, which I guess is, I don't know, what have I been using? I can't actually remember. Oh, I'm using a Christmas one at the moment.
Of course you are, because it's Christmas.
Yes.
So your feet smell of cinnamon.
I guess. I don't know. Well, maybe now, but you know, if once I revert back to unicorn form, then of course they're going to smell
rainbow.
Forest floor, I think. I don't know what rainbows smell like.
I don't know.
What does a rainbow smell like? I think that is something that I ask myself now. What does a rainbow smell like?
That's my question then to you. What does a rainbow smell like?
I don't know. Maybe this smells like snow fairies or something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's something ethereal.
Well, that was it for the questions. But thank you so much for for asking them. There's some really lovely questions in there. I think it's, as I've always said, your fan base is just so lovely.
Thank you, everyone. I know they're absolutely wonderful, and as I said, my heart's always completely full, and I get so happy and hyper about this. It's exciting, and thank you everyone for sticking around. Thank you for supporting me through everything, and I hope you're all safe and well, and you have a wonderful Christmas time or holiday season, or however you like to celebrate it or not celebrate it, and have a most magical, fantastic New Year.
Absolutely, I completely agree. Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm sure we will undoubtedly do this again in a couple of months, as we always seem to come together and catch up on what you're getting up to. But yes, have a great Christmas. Stay safe, take care, and we will catch you next time.
Take care, everyone. Bye.